My name is Pastor Jim Hoggett. You're at Coeur Open Bible Church. This is the office where we're having a counseling session between Priscilla and Aquila. Priscilla and Aquila have been referred to counseling in my office through Paul the Apostle. I guess you guys met him in Corinth, and he decided that you guys need to do some work in your relationship. So today we're going to talk about a thing that comes from a book. It's called Please Understand Me by David Kiersey and Marilyn Bates. Please understand me. And over the last couple of weeks, we talked about different temperaments and the different kinds of things that happen between a husband and a wife. We talked about whether they're introvert versus an extrovert. We talked about sensing over intuitive. Today we're going to talk about thinking as opposed to feeling. I want you to see it on a scale of, say, 1 to 20. One side is extreme, the other side is extreme. None of us are totally thinking people. None of us are totally feeling people. We're someplace in between on a scale of 1 to 20. So put yourself on that scale. Stay away from the middle, though. The middle's not good. You got to push yourself one way or the other. Some people make their decisions by their head. Some people make their decisions by their heart. It's not right or wrong. They're just wired different. One of the things I think is extremely interesting is that some of our doctors have discovered in your brain there are certain cells that hold memories. And they are finding some of those same cells inside the heart. Believe it or not, the heart can have a memory. And for years we've had people with heart transplants who had memories that came out of nowhere. They didn't have any idea, where's that coming from? Or remembering liking beer when they never had beer before. The heart has a memory. So some people are all in their heads. Let's say majority of it in their heads. Very intellectual, very logical. And in a later time, we're going to talk about the two halves of the brain, the left side and the right side. The left side is very logical. The right side is emotional. Left side counts time in linear fashion. This happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. The right side knows time in a cyclical fashion. We'll get to that later on. But some people make their decisions by what's inside their head, very logical. They get in their head. Kind of reminds me of Star Trek with Spock. All in their head, or Data. Trying to understand what it's like for people to have feelings and emotions. Our world today has a tremendous amount of information. We've got knowledge coming out of our ears. But knowledge is only useful if you apply the heart to it. Knowledge is information. Wisdom is the correct application of that wisdom, and that includes the heart. So if a man is very intellectual and the woman is very feeling, when you put the two of them together, you have a good combination because she'll balance him out and he'll balance her out. You need the wisdom from the heart to be able to handle all of that information. Let's talk about some words. Now, according to my chart here, Priscilla, you're the thinking kind of person. And Aquila, you're the feeling kind of person. So these are words that would sound good to you, and these are words that would sound good to you. So we have objective as opposed to subjective. Principles, values. Policy, social values. Laws, extenuating circumstances. Criterion, intimacy. Firmness, persuasion. Impersonal, personal. Justice, humane. Categories, harmony. Standards, good or bad. Critique, appreciate. Analysis, sympathy. Allocation, devotion. Like I said before, These are not right or wrong. They're only different. And over a period of time, being married to somebody who is different than I am, we'll find a place of balance someplace in between. We talked about the extrovert. I am much less extroverted today than I was when I married my wife. She is less introverted today than we got married today. She's more in the middle. We're finding a place of balance. And then that scripture says, whom he did foreknow, the same that he predestined into the image of it, be transformed into the image of his Son. We're in the process of being transformed in the image of Jesus, and nobody will help you do that any better than your spouse, because your spouse can get into the inner sanctum. They can get in where nobody else can get. Okay, we'll pick this up next week. Thank you very much.